Um, I feel like you don't really maybe develop those kinds of complexes till you get to be older, right? So
Yes,
that,
the seeds start early.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
when
yeah,
we're little, well, let's say when you're 1 and 2, you're a baby, you're a toddler, then unless there's injury or disease, things work beautifully. And
yeah,
you don't second guess the things that you do.
yeah.
You're curious about something and you follow your curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
and your body just follows and obeys your mind, and things are integrated.
Uh-huh,
And
uh-huh,
your coordination works really well when you're
uh-huh.
really very little. So you have this state of wholeness when you're really little that slowly starts to get interfered with,
Mm-hmm.
as because when you're a baby, you're a toddler, you are wired to imitate people older than you. So of
Uh,
course you're going to learn from the people around you, your parents, your teachers, your older siblings, all of the kind of big people in your life. You look up to them, literally. and
mm-hmm.
and we're just designed for survival to take on the roles that are shown to us, and
Well, yeah.
for better or for worse. And unfortunately, these days in our modern world, especially in the West, but much more so today in the East, as
Mm-hmm.
they're taking on Americanism, we're not the best influence in general.
Yeah, no joke.
So in this day and age, unfortunately, most of our older role models are not too great at coordinating themselves in a healthy way, or
Mm-hmm.
thinking thoughts that are helpful for themselves and others.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're a little kid, you just assume that the people around you are what you're supposed to be like. And
Yeah.
we have things in our brain called mirror neurons, and we reflect everything that comes towards us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, that's great if you've got great role models that are well coordinated and up and positive, and that's wonderful. And sometimes we are lucky enough to have those people in our lives, but unfortunately, many of the times the people who are around us are older, and not as happy with themselves and frustrated and
Uh-huh.
doubting, and there's a physical aspect that goes hand in hand with that kind of a mental outlook. And it's when you talk about a depressed person, it's not
Mm-hmm.
just an emotional psychological state. The body also depresses itself and compresses itself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
um, little kids will see that, and they learn from it unconsciously. So little by little, I saw it in my kids when they were around 3 or 4. I started to see them doing a little slump, and
Yeah, yeah,
they were in school, and it's contagious. So,
yeah, sure.
little by little over time, and going to school and being surrounded by not the best examples, it takes a toll. And
Wow, yeah.
Alexander, so obviously my specialty is teaching Alexander technique.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander actually wanted his technique to be taught to little children to help them not be negatively influenced, so that they could consciously maintain their up and open stature and outlook
Yeah,
in life,
yeah,
because they have that innately. We all have that innately, but we don't
sure.
have it consciously. So unconsciously we are affected and start to pull down. So he wanted to teach kids how to
Yeah,
be conscious about how they are up and open and positive, so they could maintain that outlook. And actually then the kids could have, and it does happen a lot, that children have a positive effect on older people.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you
That's a
spend a lot of
blessing.
time around happy children. I mean, you can't help but come up and open up and smile.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever taken or studied Tai Chi?
Just a very little.
Okay.
I don't know much about Tai Chi except that it's great.
Yeah,
So I wish I had
yeah.
time to devote it. No, I think it's wonderful. Tai-Chi and meditative practices, or I mean, I've done meditation for most of my life.
Yes, that's awesome.
Tai-Chi is a really great thing, where you're really consciously uniting your mind and your body with movement.
Yeah, I took just the first level course at a place called Whatever Works Wellness here in Cincinnati.
Yes, I think that's actually one of the best places in Cincinnati to take Tai-Chi classes.
Yeah, really, really great people. But one of the videos, well, they talk about how the body gets glued together because we're not moving and we're stressed, and it's like just getting literally glued together through adhesions and stuff. And one of the DVD videos that he gave us, this guy talked about how he was living a small life, like metaphorically, and he was kind of like here, and his body was all, and as soon as he started like expressing, and like his body just started feeling better, it was just like this positive cycle.
Yeah,
cool.
You can't have an emotion without your body.
Yeah, so, and I see it in a lot of my girlfriends. You can see when like their shoulders, there's something that it needs to be healed or needs to be, and they don't. It's almost like you can see the limitation on somebody else when they're limiting themselves and not expressing something like that.
That's right. Cool, you can help a lot of those people that you see just by being around them and being conscious, and then coming back to yourself and finding your own center, taking care of your own verticality and openness and positive thinking. Directly, every single time you take care of yourself in that way, you're helping the people around you.
Yeah.
So trying to go into teaching music to children, the best thing, I think, the best gift you can give any student that you have, of any age really, is to take care of yourself first. And, remember what your ideal is for yourself, and be who you are as fully and you can, because again, we have these mirror neurons, and that a person won't be necessarily aware of it, but they're positively affected by every positive thought that you have for yourself.
Wow.
And when I teach Alexander technique, that's a big part of it. So I'm taking care of myself, and then teaching my students how to do that for themselves. And then they go out and they're positively influencing their students and their friends and their family just by being conscious of who they are.
Yeah. Wow. It's almost just like coming back home to what you're born into.
Yeah, exactly. And really, the things that we're doing to ourselves to pull ourselves down are superimposed. They're not natural. It's not natural. It's a learned behavior. So the first step to change is to be aware, to start observing what you're actually thinking and doing to yourself. Then it's not about learning how to do something different. It's about learning to stop those things that you're doing to yourself to compress and pull yourself down. So Alexander technique is not about learning how to do something new. It's about learning the things that we're doing to ourselves.
Yeah, that's what Vince is the teacher at the Tai-Chi. It's like, what is it? White Willow Tai-Chi school, and the whatever works. But it's like unlearning basically, and that's one of my one of my life gurus and vocal teacher. His book, which I'll send you the name of, because it's really awesome philosophy. It's all that stuff of like perfect, like we're born a perfect instrument basically, and we get these weird things. We're defeating ourselves, and I have, my gosh, been through it so bad, and it's like all about realizing that you're perfect and that you have it all, and how to let it be what it really actually is. So,
yeah, that's my perspective exactly. And in fact, I'll share with you my quote 3 magic phrases. Which you are free to share and with your students or whoever. But I found them very useful, and they do, there's some thoughts that you can sit with and wonder about. The first one is, I am free. And you can ask yourself, am I free? what I think about that one, the meaning I have for that one immediately to myself is I'm free to be who I am right now, having the experience. So I'm free is number one. And second one is I don't have to do anything.
That's great. Oh man.
Force me or make me to do anything.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm doing because I'm choosing to do it.
Yeah.
And if I don't like it, I'm free to stop doing it. And of course, even if I don't like it, I'm free to keep doing it. You know, if I'm beating myself up, I'm free to keep doing that.
yeah, sure.
Hopefully I'll discover that I don't like it very much, and hopefully I'll stop. But I don't have to. Okay, so I'm free. I don't have to do anything right now. And number three is I have time and space right now.
Oh, that's nice. Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So, you know, not everybody loves these phrases immediately. But very occasionally I have a student who really doesn't connect to any of them, but I'd have to say that maybe 1 or 2%. And even in that case, after we talk about it, what's the most important is that a person thinks about them and finds their own meaning for those words. And perhaps they are not the most useful for an individual, but I have found that most people are attracted to at least one of these and can make really, really good use of them. You know, most people don't think they have enough time for anything. So we're always rushing around and not enough time and feeling overwhelmed and stressed. And so just stop for a moment and recognize, well, I'm free to stop right now. And I don't have to do X, Y, Z. I mean, it feels like I have to because I have to get there on time and I have to get an A and I have to graduate and I have to earn this money to live. I have to eat. It feels like you have to do all those things, but the truth of it is that you don't have to. It's a choice. There are always consequences for every choice.
Choice.
But the truth is you don't have to, and you do have time, even if it's a split second extra than you think. It's there. And in that moment is when magic can happen, because if you give yourself that moment to stop and pause, you can see more options, more possibilities. In fact, it's a doorway into seeing the all possible, I think.
Yeah. Vince from whatever works, he's talked about, like, if you have a problem, look through the problem, and like you can then see everything. And like this, we focus on what we focus on, but really the world is so much bigger. And if we really just look around and just be like, there's more than we can ever imagine to be possible. And like leaving my job and not wanting to fall into the next job where I got numbed and dulled and basically my spirituality kind of just got crushed out. But then feeling the society's pressures of like, you know, take up the next gig to get a stable, secure thing.
Pressures are very strong.
Yes, very, very strong, especially I think people who subscribe heavily to the idea of what you should do, they also put it on you really hard and they lay it on thick. And if you're not strong about what actually matters, then to you, whatever matters to you, then you can get sucked right back in. And that the second one, I don't have to do anything. It's like, that's really powerful, especially given.
I think that's always my favorite one. When I say it, I was like, I don't have to do anything right now. About absolutely every single thing that comes up, like right now. And in fact, my work is all about right now.
Oh, that's great.
Right now, because
that's so good.
It's the only thing we can do anything about is right now.
Yes. And I see like people, the way they speak, like I should do this, I need to do this. It's like they're the victim of the fact that they have a choice. But it's like if you reframe what choice is, it's actually so incredibly powerful, like choice. Like it's your choice, you know, you're not the victim of the fact that you have a life that you can create.
And the only moment you can make a choice is right now. And we forget that. We forget that every moment is new. Every moment you're making another choice, even if it's the choice to continue in the same direction without thinking. That's a choice. So you can always change your mind. You're always free to change direction. And it sort of takes the pressure off a little bit when you realize that, okay, I can do something now and I can always change my mind.
Wow, that's awesome. So kind of what I've got going on is one of my close friends, she's kind of in the same space that I'm in right now, where we want to, like, what have we been through? What complexes have we kind of seen the other side of? And how can we put this out there? Whatever the words would be, this idea that you have the power to create the life you want to live, all this kind of stuff. So we're literally in the thick of kind of figuring out what that looks like. We want to do it. Yeah, it's exciting. And we like, last week, it was a strange week where just things weren't working. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't be in Cincinnati anymore. And I was talking with my friend about it. I was like, do you ever just feel like you should just stop trying? He's like, well, maybe you're trying toward the wrong things. And I was like, whoa. Huh? And then me and my friend connected, and we want to do the same thing. Just we're figuring out what it looks like logistically. But the general idea being that we'll have like focuses, and we'll bring people on like you, if you're interested in kind of like cross, promote work together to just focus on what, like, choice, like write a short blog, just how powerful it is and how we treat it like it's a burden when really it's an empowering thing.
Well, give you a little tip. Whatever you decide to do, it would be nice if it were a little easier, right? So there's actually a really simple, easy way to make everything you do easier. And I'll share it with you right now.
Yes.
Right? So let's just take a moment right now. If you just do a simple little body scan, what do you notice about yourself right now, about your body?
My back hurts a little bit, and my left thigh is tight. My left hip is tight.
Okay.
A little like back of my head right here, tension. Yeah.
Okay. So you got a little tension in various places. Are there any places in your body where there's a little less tension or more comfort? Let's say a little more ease.
I guess my arms, right? My right leg, my top of my head feels good.
Okay, so let's do something. I'm gonna count to 4. And after each number, I'd like you to just say a place in your body where you notice a little bit of ease, just like you did right now. 1.
My right hand.
2.
My feet.
3.
My ears.
4.
The top of my head.
Great. Pretty easy, right?
Yeah, that's good.
What do you notice about yourself as a whole after having done that little bit of?
Yeah, because I always am just focusing on the fact that my hip is all dingle-donged and you don't see the other parts. Your ears aren't hurting. Yeah, it's a fuller, right? It's like you see the fuller picture.
That's
wow.
Right. Things into proportion. And do you see how powerful that is? And it's so
wow.
easy. We're normally trained, our brains are hardwired to notice the negative first and positive. We're not used to sorting for what's positive in our lives and in our bodies. As soon as you wonder, and wonder is a key word, as soon as you're wondering about ease, what you focus on, you get more of.
Yeah. That's nice.
And I could see as I was watching you as you were sorting for ease and wondering and noticing places of ease. I saw how your whole system came up just a little bit and and you got a little easier.
Yeah.
So this is what I usually teach to my students in the beginning, and I have them. I develop that and give them a lot of things to practice every day that are just for a couple minutes. The homework I give is so minimal, but important. do it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the very first step, is to start sorting for ease. And when you start learning how to do that, which is not hard, you just did it the first time you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more difficult or challenging for some people. For you, it was pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
But once you learn how to do that, and you can do that throughout the day at any time, it starts to become easier and easier and easier. And whenever you do that and then do your activity, whatever activity it is, it's just easier. It's
wow. It's just it's striking, because when you told me to do the body scan at first, so obviously I was like, well, my hip hurts and I'm picking my left thumb cuticle and that hurts now, and that's so wild.
I'd say about 95% of people will talk about something that is quote negative, like that.
Yeah, not working, quote unquote. Oh my gosh, that's wild.
So you can use that, and whoever you teach them that, and whatever they do, playing an instrument or speaking or singing, anything that is going to be easier after they learn to look for ease.
Yes, the whole picture. That's really cool.
So I need to go in a moment, but I'm wondering if you have any other last questions or
so I wonder if you've probably gone through this process of, like, you have an idea and then you scope it out, and then in terms of having a scope that you can manage, and not signing up for way too much, and we're in this process where all these ideas are so great, oh my gosh, we could do everything.
Yes.
How do you isolate and, like, stay disciplined?
Okay, well, right now, thinking about those things, what are you noticing about your body?
Tension.
There you go.
Yeah.
First step is to notice how the way you're thinking causes tension in your body. When you notice that, you have a choice to keep thinking that way or to stop thinking that way. So I would suggest that, you're in a phase of your life where it's actually very similar to the phase of my life right now. You might not think so, but I'm just coming towards the end of a divorce and a 26-year marriage, and I'm fine. I've never had to support myself. I've never.
Wow, that's incredible.
Similar situation to somebody, just coming out of college.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
And so when I'll start to think, oh my God, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
I'm already doing a lot of great things, but from the outside, that may seem really stupid. But from the inside, I'm feeling this, what do I do? And so as soon as I notice those thoughts creeping in, I realize I'm starting to get anxious. I get upset. I get scared. And my body starts tensing up and closing in. So that's my cue. My body is telling me, okay, just stop. This is not helping. So,
practically speaking, it's not helpful.
Where do I notice a little bit of ease? Oh, there it goes. My left foot just released. And my arms are free. And when you release like that, you can think better. And the choices will become clear by themselves. And I've seen this happen over and over and over again. So it's very easy for me. Not 100% easy, but it's pretty easy at this point, at this stage in my life, to trust that this process works. So it's a matter of catching myself, getting caught up in that kind of tense, worried, doubtful, self-doubting, crazy, overwhelming feeling. And then, oh, I'm doing it again. Oh, that's really interesting. Then I don't beat myself up for it. It's like, oh, wow, great. I saw I'm doing it again. I noticed it. So, bravo, Jennifer.
That's cool.
And then I'm like, okay, well, I can keep doing that, or I can just stop. And when I choose to stop, everything gets easier. Then I realize I have time. I don't need to solve this problem right now. In fact, maybe it's not even a problem. Maybe it's the best thing in the world that I don't know what to do.
Maybe it's an exciting adventure.
It is. And you can look at it, it's like the glass half full or half empty. I mean, it is the most wonderful, amazing time of my life right now, where it's like in a couple of years, my second son is going to graduate from high school, and I can do whatever I want. Really exciting. It's like an adventure. What am I going to do? It's like a kid's candy shop. Oh my gosh, I could do this or that or move here.
Yes. Yes.
So then that's looking at the glass half full, you know, looking
Mhm.
at the other side. Oh, it's so scary. So
Yeah.
which one do I like? Well, I don't like feeling awful. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
matter
yeah.
of, if I look at that, that doesn't help. I can stop and okay, where do I notice a little ease? Instantly, just like that. In a flash, my whole life becomes easy.
Yeah, that's so
So
powerful.
that, you know, I'm just telling you because it sounds like that might be helpful for you as you're, you know, trying to figure out what to do. Just
Yeah.
trust. You don't have to figure it out right now. There's
Mhm.
deep inner wisdom inside of you that is going to guide you exactly into what you need. And I think you already know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're already finding your way. And
Uh-huh.
you know, it's nice that we've connected this way. And
Mhm. Mhm.
it's not a coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you open up to being guided by that inner wisdom, then the
Mhm.
right things show up at the right time. And it's a matter of being open and observing and knowing an opportunity when you see it and
Mhm.
diving in and saying yes.
Mhm.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's a great book.
Yeah. Oh, I'll write that down.
I hope that helps.
Yes, it does a lot. Can we stay in touch over the next few weeks and whatever? Because I feel like there's ways that we could work together and
Yeah,
just
it's
like
really
writing.
yeah, I'd be happy to be in touch. You know,
Mhm.
if yes, it would be really nice to have you in a class of mine or so. I think that would be really helpful.
Yes,
Work something out. We could talk about that later.
absolutely, absolutely. And congratulations on the phase that you're in. That's very exciting.
Oh, thank you very much.
Mhm.
I'm really happy.
It's like you can breathe, right?
You know, what's so nice is to when you live as consciously as you can. Um, you're making conscious choices, and it's easier to not have regrets when you live that way. So
Oh, wow.
I don't have regrets for
Mhm.
what has happened up until now, and that's a
Mhm.
really 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 nice feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
That on everyone.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Okay, Rebecca, well, thanks so
Awesome.
much for contacting me, and
Yes.
I'm sure you're going to I'm excited about what you're going to discover about yourself in your life. You're going to help a lot of people for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Look what you've done right now. You've helped me already.
Wow.
And definitely let's stay in touch for sure, because I feel good about just like continuing to communicate and everything.
Great. Thank you, Rebecca.